go back to those old days of letters, creating our envelope, and just you could in fact even write a letter and post it to someone once we're done with the session. So it's just going back to the good old days. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our 21 days meditative art ritual sessions. So today we're having Simmi, and I'll be collaborating with her. My association with Simmi has been very recent. We have just known each other recently through Chetna, and we have been wanting to collaborate from a very long time. And I think this is like a perfect moment that has happened. We're going to do a small mandala to start with, and then Simmi will later take over.
Yes, let's do that. And irrespective of, if you're watching and you have your envelopes ready or not, as Veena mentioned, please don't hesitate.
Perfect. We should get going. All right. So it's a pretty classic mandala, guys. Really wouldn't take much time. So as you all know, the steps are pretty much similar. And this is like a cute card that I picked up. So it's an cover for that. And so now we're going to get started by marking the center point on all the four sides. So the traditional way of mandala is where we mark the center point on all the four sides of the paper. So for me, it's coming to about 16.5. So I'm just going to take 8.25. So basically, we are just marking the center point on all the four sides. Like I told, this is a store-bought envelope. So the measurement has varied for me. So if it's 21 centimeter, your center point will be 10.5. That's it. As simple as that. So according to the measurement of your envelope, just take the dimensions. So for me on the other side, it's about 16 centimeters. So I'm going to just take 8. You can take an envelope of any measurement, right? Any size. It's totally okay. Just make sure that you mark the points accordingly. So if it's a 21 centimeter, your midpoint will be 10.5 centimeter. That's okay. So once we have marked the midpoint, we are just going to join the line. And make sure that your guidelines are very, very light. We don't want it to be dark. All right. So as you can see, I have my center point over here. Just place your scale 0 centimeter at the center point and mark the first measurement as 1 centimeter, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5. Okay. And then now we are going to make our circles. So just keep doing these circles according to the measurements that we have marked. And make sure, which this is something I repeat in every session that I do, make sure that your markings are very, very light. I don't really have my protractor with me, so I'm going to just use the compass itself to divide this further. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take, so if you can carefully observe, like this is the total dimension, right, of this arc. So I'm just going to take 3/4 of it and I'm going to divide. Now, if you have a protractor, please go ahead and just mark a 15-degree or 10-degree, whatever is comfortable, and just make it like make the radial lines. So we have the concentric circles. We need to divide our concentric circles radially. Just because I don't have a protractor, I'm following this method of bisecting it. So you basically take little more than what's required. So I'm showing it here. So this is the entire arc, right? And I want to bisect that. Okay. So I'm not taking the whole measurement. I'm just taking 3/4. And I'm making an arc from both these sides. And I'm going to join it. Okay. I'm just going to quickly divide this even further. So this method really comes in handy when you don't have your protractor, and it's simple geometry that we have learned in our school days. And we can definitely erase all these lines later, so we're good on that. All right, and then I'm just going to quickly join. So now my mandala is divided into the required number of grids that I usually would prefer to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So now we're going to get started. We'll draw our mandala. So I'm going to only do a quarter portion of it so that because this is something that can be replicated in the rest of the mandala, and we'll focus more on the border. All right. So I'm going to start off by making like a pointed shape petal, and I'm taking a point 0.5 fine liner. So something like this. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to make a semicircular shape. Now we're going to make a pointed petal. And another pointed petal. And then a simple U shape. So I'm really going easy on the patterns because I do know that this is something we have covered in the previous sessions. So feel free to even do your own patterns, no pressure on that. Once we're done with this, I'm going to take a point 0.1 or a point 0.2 and add like a small inner border. So when you add the inner border, it really changes the whole look of the design. It just makes it a little bit more intricate and more defined and neater. So take your own sweet time and complete the mandala. And regarding the details inside the outer border is, we can also keep it really simple. As you all know, we'll be adding some design along the border. So part of those colors can be incorporated in here. So for instance, here you can add a color filling, here you can add, and these three uh, shapes, we can add a design. So I'm going to keep it really simple, and we will basically replicate this shape, but in a different way. So we're making it curved. And then if you have space, you can add a tiny circle, or if not, you can just fill the negative space. Okay. And then in this one, we're just going to draw a straight line and add leaf, like a leaf-like pattern. And then here, I'm going to be doing like a spiral. I'll just show that in a minute. We're going to add like a spiral. So for which, I'm just going to draw like this, take a spiral, and then this, and add a tiny circle. And fill the gap with black ink. And here, we're just going to add a tiny circle. And then here, we are just going to divide it again, but add a double line. We're just going to do some spirals, but smaller spirals. And then here we are going to do like the petal, and we'll add a small line and a dot. So you can do the detailing with point one itself. I like these sort of designs where it makes the design look elegant, like like a delicate ornament. And obviously, fill the gap. All right, so you can definitely end the mandala with another cute small circle like this, or you can leave it. And then what colors you choose over here, you can add those colors in these bits, right? And then your design will look really complementing. So this is it with the mandala part. I'm just going to, for now, erase all these lines which go beyond the circle so we can focus more on the border. And whatever design we have done in this bit, feel free to complete in the rest of the circle. So over to you, Simi.
Thank you, Veena. The mandala looks so cute and adorable. I had lesser space to work with, so I made some modifications to kind of compensate for the lack of space on my sheet. But I'm so excited to see how it's going to turn out with the rest of the painting as well. I'll also quickly erase my extended lines. Please let me know once you guys are ready to begin with the second part of the session. Just give me a thumbs up so we know. So I have just laid my envelope flat open. Basically, once I fold it and glue it in, it's going to look something like this. So you could also place your envelope the same way. Have the flap at the top and the rest of the paper here facing towards you. We'll start painting like this. I'm using watercolors, very handy, very economic. Dom's watercolors is what I'm using today. Has been heavily used before. So anything that you can find, any paints, acrylics, gouache, watercolors, or even color pencils. And even if you do not have color pencils, you can sketch the flowers. So you can continue to use your fine liners or your pencils and, add in the florals as well. I will be demonstrating a quick tutorial to make some flowers. We'll be making a border. So we can go about it multiple ways. You can choose however you would like. We can do the borders throughout, make it uniform, or paint only on the corners. Okay. For now, I'm going to be painting on the bottom left and top right. And then if you wish to continue, you can continue the pattern all around. So feel free to experiment with how many flowers you want to add and how you want to go about it. You can take the smallest round brush that you have because these flowers are going to be really tiny. Here, I'm going to go in with some red or any bright color, any color of your choice. These flowers are going to be like your basic poppy or peony flowers. So starting on the bottom left, you're going to be using the shape, the natural shape of your brush. The round brush itself is shaped like a petal, right? So we're just going to take advantage of the shape of the brush and just place it down like this. I'm going to have 5 petals. I hope my sheet is visible. And I'm just going to fill in the rest of it. There you go. We've got a nice, cute little flower. And if you're going to repeat it, you can just keep going along the borders and draw them at equal distance. Or if you're planning to do only corners, we'll make a bunch of these flowers. So I'm going to paint similarly two, three more, and then the same I'm going to do on this side. So feel free to add the flowers wherever you feel they belong on your envelope. So by now you might have like at least two or three flowers, or maybe even more. Um, Once you're done with placing your flowers, I'm just going to show you how we can add in the leaves as well. You can go with whatever green makes you happy. I'm going to mix both the greens that I have on this palette. And I'm going to extend the leaves on the side. So something like this. And then again, take the natural shape of your round brush to paint the leaves. I'm just going to draw some more squiggly lines in between the flowers to make it more fuller. You can even play with the variation in colors of your greens and also the size of the leaf. And once you come close to the flowers and you still feel like there's a lot of white space, just add tiny little dots of green. You can also add tiny little dots of another contrasting color, like maybe purple over here, or red, even any color that you like. Just add some, dots, so it gives it a very magical feel. Here I am doing a combination of green and red dots, and I'm going to almost replicate it the same way on the top right as well. And also, once you're done with the flowers, you can add some detailings in the middle of the flowers. You can either do it with pen if you're more comfortable, or you can go in with the paint. Just use a darker color. Here, I'm just mixing some green and red. Makes a little bit of a brown, a purplish brownish tone. And I'm just gonna add some dots in the center of the flower, like that. I will do the same thing on this side. And yes, I think I'm comfortable and happy with the placement of the flowers. Maybe I will extend the leaves and take them all the way to the other two corners as well. But and oh yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. You can feel free to add like other kind of flowers if you like that to give it more color. And you can also use the same color that you used for your flowers and add it to the mandala. So it kind of ties the whole piece together as one.
This is perfect, Simi. It's really, really so good. So this is what I have done. As you can see, the mandala we have done before, but I've just added like I've done these with the Micron color pens, and I've just done like a yellow and brown flower with some green leaves and red dots. So thank you so much for teaching us the floral bit and how to add details.
Thank you, Veena. I think everything came together really nicely. I am so excited for the recipients of these letters and envelopes. I hope everyone gets to share the love and add their own artistic touch to it.